It's time now for The Splash on Civic Center TV. On this week's episode, we take a look inside this year's home and garden tour in Sylvan Lake. Then, fighting childhood hunger one bag at a time with blessings in a backpack. And later, Concert for a Cause brings out local talent in support of the Police Foundation. The Splash is a production of Civic Center TV. We're a news magazine that covers everything, from local news to feature stories, all so that we can bring you the latest from the greater West Bloomfield area. And now, let's dive into The Splash. Hello and welcome to another episode of The Splash. I'm your host, Jonathan Jackson, and as always, it's good to have you with us. For years now, the city of Sylvan Lake has hosted some popular events, but the Sylvan Lake Home and Garden Tour is one that actually supports the community in many ways. For more on this, we turn to Splash reporter Larry Nyland.
They say the city of Sylvan Lake is the prettiest in all of Michigan, and if you've seen the houses in their area, you might just be convinced. That's why every year, the city's homeowners get a chance to show off their places of residence at the annual Sylvan Lake Home and Garden Tour, which in turn raises money to benefit their community.
The Sylvan Lake Home and Garden Tour is an event that was created, and it began as an effort to raise funds for the city so that residents could pay for projects that they wanted to see happen. We are a very community, family-oriented city, and there's a number of things here at the community center and also within the city that we wanted to improve upon.
In order to make those improvements, a large number of houses had to be up on display for people to see, and this tour has no shortage of volunteers working towards it.
Well, the wonderful thing is that the homeowners volunteer their homes to be on the tour, and so far we have had 69 different homes on the tour. And so they volunteer their homes so people can come in and see the inside of their home and also the outside. And we really appreciate that because people just love to see other people's homes and see how they live. In fact, many people have moved to Sylvan Lake because of coming on our home tour.
With these spikes in attendance over the years, the Sylvan Lake Home and Garden Tour has become one of the city's most successful events, helping to make a positive influence within the community.
We have about 600 people that come to our tour every year, and we raise in excess of about $10,000 each year. And that helps us buy things like our kitchen equipment for our community center, signage. We have redone storage buildings that house equipment that's necessary for all of the events that we have here within the community. We have purchased tables and chairs, landscaping, lawn sprinklers, and the list kind of keeps growing, and so that's why we keep having the tour.
For The Splash, I'm Larry Nyland.
Thank you, Larry. Glad to see that Sylvan Lake's community is in good hands with events such as this. And if you'd like to see even more, then you can visit civiccentertv.com/Sylvan Lake Home Tour. Every day, children both around the world and even here in West Bloomfield are going hungry, which is why organizations such as Blessings in a Backpack are working hard to provide a meal to every child.
Eleanor Roosevelt once said, "The freedom of man, I contend, is the freedom to eat." Before the 16.2 million American children that do not get nutritious food on a regular basis, that freedom is often unpossessed. West Bloomfield Township and the city of Keego Harbor teamed up for Blessings in a Backpack recently to be a force for change and ensure that no child goes hungry.
Blessings in a Backpack is a wonderful program that actually provides 6 meals over the weekend for students who are on the free or reduced lunch program. It's a program that actually provides lunch for students whose families may not be able to afford the full price of a lunch that is offered at the school.
It's run completely by volunteers. The money is raised completely by volunteers, and it's used to buy food to go home every weekend during the school year with children on free and reduced lunch or who are in need. And so they take home 6 non-perishable meals every weekend.
Although on the surface the circus-themed event was a fun summer experience for the area's children and volunteers, the participants reaped an even greater purpose from the proceedings.
This is just one event. This is just one time and one lesson. It's one that we need to teach them over and over and over as they're young, so as they grow older, they can appreciate that it's good to give back to the community. There's nothing more important than knowing that you are helping other people or other children. And so as many lessons as we can give our children in that, and as many experiences as we can, then it will carry over to when they're adults.
It's a huge fundraiser, but it is a wonderful opportunity for anyone in the community to come, have their children experience a wonderful day with tons of great activities, in addition to providing the opportunity to raise funds that are used to help feed the students in our district.
This lesson is just one of many that have come from West Bloomfield and Kegel Harbor's Blessings in a Backpack initiative. But these lessons all have one common connection: the significance of making a difference in the lives of those around us. Because for the 16.2 million hungry American children, freedom, I contend, is an act of community.
The lesson was, I used to think and now I know. And so the children were verbally saying, I used to think about a particular topic and then what they knew. And a little boy said, I used to think that spiders were insects, and now I know that spiders are arachnids. And a little girl said, I used to think that you didn't need to have a period at the end of a sentence, and now I know why it's important to do that. And a little girl, now these are second graders, mind you, a little girl said, I used to think I'd go home on the weekend and I'd be hungry, but now I know there'll be a bag of food in my locker every Friday. I think that really says it all, why it's important to have this program, not only in West Bloomfield, but everywhere where we have children that are hungry.
For The Splash, I'm Tyler Kieft.
Thank you, Tyler. We here in West Bloomfield are very grateful to Blessings in a Backpack and all that they do for our community. And to see even more on this segment, you can visit civiccentertv.com/blessings. Coming up, some local celebrities are in attendance at this year's Concert for a Cause. And later, George Moore has a cooking-themed episode of Sidewalk Talk right after this.
Don't go away. You're watching The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Civic Center TV celebrates our region's natural beauty, proud history, tremendous accomplishments, and more with Another Angle, a series featuring a unique bird's-eye view of our area's landscape. Watch Another Angle on Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
Civic Center TV has gone social. Now it's easier than ever to watch, save, like, and share our videos online. See what's happening in your neighborhood, on the streets, and on the web at civiccentertv.com. Be a part of the conversation and get involved. We would love to hear from you. For links to our social media pages, visit us at our website or find us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
The best way to know when shows debut on Civic Center TV is to become a member. It's absolutely free. We'll send you a regular newsletter with all the latest updates. Just go to civiccentertv.com and click the Members tab. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
And now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Welcome back to The Splash. I'm your host, Jonathan Jackson. Last week, we talked about the Police Foundation and all that they're doing for the families of fallen officers. And now we turn to their annual fundraiser, Concert for a Cause, which brings together community members, police officers, and local talent from around West Bloomfield.
The West Bloomfield Police Foundation is very near and dear to a lot of people. It even brought out some of West Bloomfield's most talented. Let's take a look. Local West Bloomfield residents and luminaries came together for a great purpose, the West Bloomfield Police Foundation. The mission of the West Bloomfield Police Foundation is to alleviate the emotional, financial, and collective burdens faced by its officers, their families, and those in the community they serve. And as Chief Michael Patton explains, it does much more.
The Police Foundation is actually a separate legal entity from the police department, but it's actually made up of all the police department employees and their families. So we look to support not only the West Bloomfield family members from the West Bloomfield Police Department, but also the broader community.
The list of performers included Karen Newman, Steve Acho, Kyle Johnson, and local radio host Mojo.
to me, I don't know, you guys, one of my favorite performers.
And for them, it wasn't just another night to showcase their talents, but an opportunity to give back to a cause that means a lot more.
You know, when there's a great cause behind a performance, that means more to me than just singing any other time. This is a special night. If we get a chance to then in turn support what they do and to help take care of the families of these officers, then I think we have a responsibility to be here.
But it's not just about the performers donating their time and talents. It's also about supporting the police department in the town where they and their families reside.
I figured if I came out here, I could get out of every speeding ticket in West Bloomfield. Now, you know what? This is a great cause. My family lives in West Bloomfield. It's an opportunity to help out the community. Our parks are the best parks in probably all of the state of Michigan. And our police department is the hardest working police department in Michigan. So anytime I can give back to them, I want to do that.
Performers of this caliber are no doubt constantly asked to volunteer their time, but West Bloomfield makes it difficult to say no.
I've been living in West Bloomfield for 15 years, and have a lot of close friends and family, and Officer Lawson is a good friend of mine, so I get asked to do tons of charity work, and I can't say yes to all of them, but I said yes to this right away.
Caring and taking care of their own is exactly what the West Bloomfield Police Foundation is all about. And that's also why these local performers came out to share their talents with us. For The Splash, I'm Leah Robinson.
Thank you, Leah. Some really great performances out there. And to see more from this year's event, you can visit civiccentertv.com/concert-for-a-cause. We now move on to another of our Splash segments, Sidewalk Talk, where reporter George Moore talks with people in the greater West Bloomfield community.
Hi, George Moore for Civic Center TV. They let us out again on the streets, and we got some great questions to ask you, the community. So we'll look for some great answers because the questions we got, oh yeah, stick around. What was your worst cooking failure?
Well, I was visiting friends down in Bellevue, Ohio, and I baked a cake, and it fell. So I put a saucer in between.
Did it work?
Well, it did till the kids found out what it was, and of course they've teased me all these years.
I like to bake, and I often double the recipe because I'm baking for lots of people. And you start out doubling, and then you get distracted with a kid or a phone call or something, and you forget to double something, and the whole cake doesn't come out right because the measurements aren't right.
Probably trying to barbecue a frozen steak. And because it was still frozen, the outside burnt really bad and the inside was raw. So I guess we have to thaw things out a day or two in advance, so not the morning of.
It was some kind of frying pan thing. You had to put all these ingredients in it, and I was trying to impress somebody with this. And it burned, and it was, I took one bite, and it was like, oh my God, this is good.
Awesome.
No, it's not good.
What was your worst cooking failure?
Something my kids will remind me, since I'm an amazing cook. The one time I took frozen blintzes and served it to some friends of ours, my kids still remember how lousy they were. Frozen blintzes that were not made from scratch, therefore they were miserable.
When I accidentally used cumin in French toast instead of cinnamon.
Ooh, cumin and cinnamon. I can see where that would be a little confusing.
Oh, sometimes our ice cream machines will run low. When they do, if we don't fill them in time, air pressure will build up in them. And if that happens, sometimes ice cream can go flying everywhere. I've been covered head to toe in ice cream before.
So when I was in grad school, I only just started learning how to bake. And there was a recipe that called for vegetable oil, and I was like, oh, I don't have that. So I used olive oil, and it was like the most disgusting brownies I've ever made in my life. I did not know that was a swap you were not allowed to make. They were very olive brownies.
We ask the people of the greater West Bloomfield area the questions. We get the answers. Some great stuff out here. And we'll be looking forward to doing it out here again on the sidewalks of the greater West Bloomfield area. For The Splash, I'm George Moore. Sidewalk Talk.
Thank you, George. You know, cooking disasters always make for the best stories, especially that olive oil and cooking oil one. But anyway, if you'd like to see even more of these stories, then you can check out civiccentertv.com/Sidewalk Talk. Time now, though, for a Civic Center event update. And to stay up to date on all the following current events, you can visit civiccentertv.com/events. So without further ado, let's get started. We start off with a special announcement from the township stating that the nonprofit organization Fund for the Public Interest will be in the West Bloomfield area conducting door-to-door canvassing for the purpose of educating and conducting a membership drive. This is on behalf of the Fund for the Public Interest and Environment Michigan's efforts to stop the decline of the global bee population beginning at the end of June and running through August 1st. Canvassing will be between the hours of 3:30 p.m. and 8:30 p.m., Monday through Friday, and infrequently on Saturdays. On Wednesday, July 6th, any qualified registered elector in Oakland County may apply to work as an election inspector in Orchard Lake Village. Training is required at the Oakland County complex located in the vicinity of Telegraph and Pontiac Lake Road. Both morning and evening shifts are available. A reminder, though, this is in preparation of the primary election on August 2nd, as well as the general election on November 8th. So if you're interested, come on out and check out the clerk's office to fill out an application or access the complete application online at the Orchard Lake Village website. If you're looking for something to do on a Saturday morning, then come out to the West Bloomfield Library on Saturday, July 9th at 11 a.m. to participate in some crafting fun for all ages. Just bring your imagination and family, and they'll provide all the materials for you to make your own art projects. Plus, the event is free to the public. The West Bloomfield Library continues their popular film discussion series with the movie Good Night and Good Luck, which is a historical drama film on journalist Edward R. Murrow, who looks to bring down corrupt Senator Joseph McCarthy. The discussion will be facilitated by Dr. Tara Hayes from Oakland University and will be open to the public from 7 p.m. till 8 p.m. on Monday, July 11th. Take an exciting look at the animals from all around the world in this live animal presentation. Topics range from habitats to instincts and will cover all manner of discussion, including truths and myths on the animal kingdom. The event starts on Tuesday, July 12th at 10:30 a.m. at Roosevelt Elementary School, and all ages are welcome. The West Bloomfield Library will be hosting a magician in their building who has traveled all over the world, but is actually based right here within Michigan. His name is Gordon Russ, and he's performed for celebrities, children, and even at local libraries here in the state. So come on out and see this show on Tuesday, July 12th at 7 p.m. and get ready to participate because he loves to bring his guests up on stage. Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital is offering up their farm-to-table class to the public, where you can taste and learn about farm-to-table cuisine. Their chef uses fresh produce from Henry's Market on Main, while resident farmer Trevor Johnson discusses what's in season and why locally grown produce is in such high demand. As an added bonus, you can create a special take-home project to enjoy farm-to-table practices with your family, and the cost is only $20 per person, and registration is required. The event starts at 6:30 on Thursday, July 14th, and it goes until 8 p.m. Then on July 19th at 10:30, Roosevelt Elementary School will be exploring the fundamentals of moving science, including Newton's 3 laws of motion. Be amazed by all sorts of surprises, including dancing, chemically assisted football tossing, and space-age rocket packs during this interactive event. Also, all ages are welcome on Tuesday the 19th, and no registration is required. Why not head over to the West Bloomfield Library on Friday, July 29th for a Library Learning Day, in which an array of educational activities will be set up for your child's enjoyment and learning. The event is fun for all ages and runs from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m., so stop on by anytime. Come bring the family out for a fun morning on Saturday, July 30th at West Bloomfield High School's cafeteria for the Charity Cakes Pancake Breakfast, which supports local nonprofit organizations in the process. The cost is only $10 a person or $5 for children under 4. Make sure to purchase your tickets before Friday, though, on July 15th, as it's $12 per person after then. Also, breakfast will be provided by Katie's Pancakes, and it includes all-you-can-eat pancakes, turkey sausage, orange juice, and coffee. And Hotworks.org presents the 14th annual Orchard Lake Fine Art Show, featuring world-renowned and top-notch local artists in the country. The event starts on July 30th and ends on the 31st in West Bloomfield, and admission is only $5, and kids 12 and under are free. So come on out and bring your fellow art lovers with you for this award-winning event. Well, there you have it. But if you're looking to find more events going on in your neighborhood, then be sure to follow us at civiccentertv.com/events and look up our events calendar. And as always, you can stay tuned right here for more information on everything going on in the greater West Bloomfield area. Well, we're going to take a quick break for now, but afterwards we'll be airing an extended segment from my interview with head referee Ron Torbert on what it's like to be an official within the NFL.
You are watching The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Be sure to catch live coverage of Laker sports, up-to-date information on local events, and of course, non-stop music on 89.3 WBLD, the all-new Lakes FM.
I'm Kelly Waterfall for Civic Center TV. All around West Bloomfield, people are saying there's great, if not totally compelling programming on Civic Center TV. What's the best way to know when our newest shows debut? Become a member. It's absolutely free. We'll send you a regular newsletter with all the latest updates. Just go to civiccentertv.com and click the Members tab. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
For years, Civic Center TV has been bringing you live coverage of local municipal meetings. The meetings are now available on demand at civiccentertv.com/meetings or watch the meetings again the following day on Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
And now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Hello, everyone. Welcome again to The Splash. This is a little extended segment we're going to do here with Ron Torbert, our guest. He's a head referee for the NFL. You've seen him around with the white cap, I'm sure. And Ron, you were just telling me earlier about being a referee. There's more than just one person out on the field. There's about 7 of you out there.
That's correct. There's 7 of us on the field. Mm-hmm. The referee, who's the person with the white hat, who does the talking on television that most people are familiar with. But there's 6 others on the field. We have an umpire who's lined up in the offensive backfield with me, head linesman and line judge who are standing on the line of scrimmage on either side of the field. And we have 3 deep officials, our side judge, field judge, and back judge, who get more involved in the passing game. We also have 2 replay officials working with us up in the replay booth. Our replay official is part of the crew, travels with us every week. And we also have a replay assistant who help us out with any instant replay issues that we have.
Yeah, you guys must be pretty tight then to work together so closely like that.
We are, and we try very hard to do that. We spend a lot of time together during the season, starting in early August, from training camp all the way through the end of the season. We typically will get into the city where we're going to work the day before or 2 days before the game, and we spend a lot of time together, meetings, watching film, going out to dinner together, and so it's important to have a chemistry. I tell my crew all the time there are actually 3 teams on the field, not just 2, and so we've got to act like a team and be a team, just like the 2 football teams that are playing each other.
Yeah. And also, I'm curious, when a coach throws a challenge flag, how much pressure is that on you guys? Like, I know you're the head ref, so you're getting everybody's input at once.
Right.
How do you guys handle that?
Well, the first thing that we think about is with instant replay, what we want to do is get the play right.
Right.
We want to get it right on the field the first time. Instant replay is there to help us in a limited number of instances. We've got the technology available, the cameras, the high-def monitors, the replay official in the booth, and we just want to get it right. Now, I would love for every replay challenge to come back saying that we got it right, but if there's a tough play, a tough sideline catch, or a tough angle to see whether he fumbled the ball or not, and we've got the ability to get it right, that's all I want. That's all any official that I've ever worked with who's been involved in instant replay wants. And so we welcome replay, and so there's I don't know if there's extra pressure. Certainly we'd like to say we got it right, but
and get it done as quickly as possible.
And get it done as quickly as possible. People are looking.
They're ready. They want to hear the call just as much as the players do.
That's right. But we welcome replay. We don't have any issues with it. People ask me all the time, how do officials feel about instant replay? I'm all for it. It helps us. It helps us do our job. Sure.
Yeah. And now, how's your relationship with players and coaches? Is there mutual respect? Do you guys ever get to, like, sometimes I see, players and refs kind of like, messing with each other, joking around, but there's also seems to be a sort of mutual respect, even when they're upset or angry with the call.
Absolutely. The players they're out there to play well. They're out there to win. The coaches want to win. There are lots of jobs, lots of money on the line, and so they can get emotional during the course of the game. But we have a tremendous amount of respect as officials for what the players do, for how hard they work, how talented they are, for the awesome job that coaches and assistant coaches and team personnel do. And we feel on the field, we can feel it, that the coaches and players have respect for what we do and how hard we work as well.
Right.
There are going to be some lighthearted moments during the course of a game.
Yeah.
A player will come up and joke with you a little bit. Normally during a timeout, when there's a little bit of downtime, but when the game is back on, everybody's serious and everybody's just out there trying to do the best they can.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, also, I'm curious, too, you've been a resident, well, we're going to switch over, but you're a resident here in West Bloomfield.
Yes, sir.
And you've 22 years. You have a family of your own, a wife, Melanie, who we've seen around before. You said you also have a daughter?
I have a daughter, Veronica. She's just turned 24 and lives in Columbia, Maryland. We have a son, Harold, who's 29. Recently just moved back to Michigan from Atlanta for work. And we've lived in West Bloomfield 22 years and enjoyed every minute of it.
So they've grown up here. They've known.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Starting at Doherty Elementary School, Orchard Lake Middle School, West Bloomfield High School for our daughter. Our son graduated from U of D Jesuit. But lifelong students in the West Bloomfield schools.
Thanks again, Ron, for being here. I mean, this has been a great interview, and you've been a great guest.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure. I've enjoyed it a lot.
Yes. So once again, Ron Torbert, everyone. He's an official for an official referee for the NFL. Just great having him here. Also an attorney and just West Bloomfield resident. So thanks again to Ron.
Thank you.
You are watching The Splash on Civic Center TV.
I'm Stacy Pacini, caseworker for West Bloomfield Youth Assistance. West Bloomfield Youth Assistance provides confidential casework services to children and families living in the West Bloomfield School District. If your family or child is struggling, West Bloomfield Youth Assistance can help. For more information about West Bloomfield Youth Assistance programs and services, please visit www.wbyouth.assistance.org or call 248-592-1278.
In the air, in the park, in your town, Civic Center TV keeps you up to date on everything going on in West Bloomfield. Go for a hike, meet the neighbors, take a splash, and explore all that our area has to offer. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
And now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Welcome back to The Splash. I'm Jonathan Jackson. It's time now for a segment we like to call Minute with Nature, where we learn more about wildlife hidden here within the greater West Bloomfield area.
Hello and welcome to Minute with Nature. I'm your host, Lauren Azoury, park naturalist for West Bloomfield Parks and Recreation. Happy summer to you. Today we're here in the nature room talking about bees. As you're out and about throughout all the wonderful parks we have in West Bloomfield, I'm sure you'll notice lots of buzzing around of the insects, the bumblebees, the honeybees, and all of our beautiful butterflies that we have. There are over 20,000 different species of bees, but the ones that we care most about are those bumblebees and those honeybees because of what they do for us, being such great pollinators. Bumblebees are the first ones to come out in the spring, and they stay out most of the way through fall. A lot of people are concerned about stinging when they see bees, but really it's the wasp and hornets that are more aggressive species. So when they're flying around, how do you tell the difference? The easiest and quickest way to tell the difference between a wasp and a hornet or a bumblebee and a honeybee is their waistline. To notice what a wasp or a hornet looks like versus a bumblebee, you want to look at their waist. So they have a head, they have a thorax, and then they have an abdomen, their bottom end. In between their thorax and their abdomen, it's much thinner. It kind of looks like they've been cinched with a belt. Whereas a bumblebee is thick and fuzzy and fat around their abdomen, so they don't have that cinched waist look. So if you see those bumblebees buzzing around your flowers, let them do their jobs. Let them pollinate those plants and drink all that nectar, because the pollination is really helping us to have more flowers, more fruit, and more honey, of course. So Boston hornets are a little bit more aggressive, and you want to leave them alone. You want to watch them from afar, and they can sting multiple times, whereas a bumblebee will only sting once before they die. So it's a little bit harder for a bumblebee to sting. They think twice before they have to do that. A great way to help out our pollinators, like our bumblebees and our honeybees and our butterflies, is by putting plants in our garden that are good nectar sources. Now, a good nectar source isn't just any old pretty flower. You want to make sure that it's a flower source that has lots of nectar, and the best way to do that is to purchase native plants. Native plants are more natural to this habitat, and that's what the butterflies and bees are used to, and they provide higher content of nectar in them. And with that nectar, they have more energy, and with more energy, they can pollinate more for us. They provide a lot of our food by pollinating apple blossom trees that turn to apples, or by bringing that sweet nectar back to their hives and producing honey for us. And that's your Minute with Nature.
Thanks, Lauren. And if you'd like to see even more episodes of Minute with Nature, then you can check out civiccentertv.com/MWN. We now turn to our other segment here on The Splash, our Person of the Week, where we acknowledge an individual within the community who is either helping or inspiring others. And this week's recipient is Mario Keikos, who just graduated from West Bloomfield High School. This is Mario Keikos. He's a bright and outgoing young man with a passion to make the world a better place. Although a recent graduate of West Bloomfield High School, Mario was highly involved within extracurricular activities during his time there. In fact, he was student co-chair of United We Walk, a community-wide effort that celebrates the life and contributions of Dr. Martin Luther King. As student co-chair, Mario also helped to MC the event alongside his fellow students, providing social commentary and insight throughout the ceremony. Besides spending his time in school, though, Mario also worked on other projects within the community, such as the Summer Reading Kickoff, which takes place every year at the West Bloomfield Public Library. In short, he encourages and inspires others to do their best, which has inspired us to make him our Person of the Week. If you or someone you know is providing a service to their community, then let us know by sending an email to The Splash at civiccentertv.com. We want to congratulate those who are making a difference in our area, and we appreciate any and all suggestions. Well, that's all the time we have for today. But as always, you can catch new episodes of The Splash every Monday at 6:30 and throughout the week for replays. You can also look up previous episodes online at civiccentertv.com or follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook under Civic Center TV for more information. For all our friends in Sylvan Lake, Orchard Lake, Kego Harbor, and of course, West Bloomfield, I'm Jonathan Jackson, and we want to thank you for watching.